Welcome to Barbie's bitch
house.
Last time, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I don't want to talk about.
So, all we're gonna say.
At least you remembered.
Yeah, because we just fucking recorded the episode. Also, y'all, I turned 22 in a week, and I'm scared.
We need to do something for your birthday.
We do. I'm gonna try and come up here on that Monday before, because I don't want to work on my birthday.
Don't work on your birthday.
I'm gonna work on the 14th, which is Monday, probably. Okay, chapter 9 is called Bill Gets Rebuffed. Bill... already. Bill and his new team of drivers continued over the next week to deliver the high level of service that their customers expected of them. The very beautiful Asinara found herself compromised. Asinara.
I can't with her name.
Do you think her middle name is like Anos?
No. It's
Anus.
Enos.
Asinara found herself compromised a few times in a sexual manner. The look we just gave each other. And after skillfully with one L in skill.
I'm like, she did what?
Compromised a few times in a sexual manner. And after skillfully, and skill has one L in it.
Look, they're giving out these little things at the blood drive.
Oh, it's a drawing. So not everyone gets one. I'm good. Anyways, skillfully giving her clients what they required, she sought out Bill for advice. It was a difficult one because Bill had intentions on her himself, but in duty to the company, he had to advise her to let matters take their course, and as long as the customer was satisfied, everything would be okay with him. Asinara acknowledged to herself that she was going to be fucked a lot. However, in the meantime, she kept up her spying activities on Bill's deliveries at the end of each Saturday, building a detailed dossier, which she quickly reported back to her mother. Asinara, her mother gasped after hearing the latest report on the drunken Denise Blooms, whose husband was the chief art critic for the Washington Times in London. Oh, get ready for this shit. Get ready for the voice I have to do. These weenie...
That sounds so bad.
It does. These weaning are cougars. Each and every one of them. These weenie. It sounds like Cartman. It's where you spell W-E-E-M-E-N. These weemen are cougars. Each and every one of them. And they give Port Biel such a hard time each visit. We must do something to stop them treating him like these.
Like these.
So, Miss Bloom's husband is art critic. This was so offensive. Is art critic. Perhaps I will visit the same gallery opening as the Blooms and work my special magic. Asinara nodded, knowing that to disagree with mother was to no avail. Besides, what was this special magic? But first, to Miss Jerry Forsyth Pussies. Due to your brilliant spying, I have convinced Errol to join Bill at her special reception as sponsors, and we will be sitting on this top table with her. I will then be able to teach her a valuable lesson which she will never forget. Ha ha ha. I will leave it to you, Mama. Shall I continue my reports, or do you have enough information? Dear child, you can never have too much information, so keep up the good work. Why does she sound like the Count from Sesame Street? So keep up the good work. Now off you go and seduce your own customers under BL's guidance. Let me know if any gossip you pick up. Meow. It may also be useful. Asinara left wondering what her dearest mama was talking about.
What her dearest
mama. I love how when you're not paying attention, you just repeat what I say back to me. This bitch is on her phone, by the way, watching TikToks. Okay.
I'm on TikTok.
Dearest mama was talking about, but whatever. She now had her approval to seduce her own clients. How exciting. Dr. Studd had reduced Bill's appointments to once every 2 weeks. In all truth, she was so busy with a veritable flood of new female clients that she had quite put him out of her mind. And this was the first time she'd seen him since she'd experienced what she called her own reincarnation. It's called a manic episode, Dr. Studd. The tinny voice called out Bill Badger, and Bill went through to Dr. Studd's room. She was sitting in her swivel chair with her back to him, dressed in her normal white lab coat. And remember, they got rid of that stinky chair, so now this one's a clean chair. For now. Everything looked the same to Bill And when she told him to strip off, he did as he normally did. Now, standing naked in the center of the room, Veronica turned around to face him. Bill's eyes nearly popped out of his head. The lab coat had been strategic.
That is Brandon as fuck.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Bill's eyes nearly popped out of his head. The lab... Oh, God, Maddie.
What?
Okay. The lab coat had been strategically unbuttoned to show off her new piercings. And Bill Badger's cock immediately shot to attention.
So he liked that shit.
Yeah, in his eyes, the 3 large piercings accentuated her tits and clit magnificently, whilst the smaller ones gave off a sense of balance and power, giving her an aura of pure dark mystery and deepest sensual desire. Well, Bill, or should I address you properly, Mr. Badger? What do you think? Bill stuttered. Is this the stud number 7 or is it the stud number 8 test? Veronica replied coldly. No, Mr. Badger. I want your honest opinion. What do you think of my new piercings? Well, Dr. Stead, I think they're utterly magnificent. Stupendous indeed. Might I be so bold as to ask to feel them? No, you may not.
No, you may not.
As you may have surmised, we have passed the physical part of your therapy. And to be honest, you have no problems in that field. I now have to assess your mental facilities regarding sex in the female body, which of course today's visit is the first of many. Please sit down and we'll get started. Bill left the clinic at 6 p.m., promptly somewhat subdued by the change in direction from Dr. Stead.
She didn't do anything to him?
I don't know. It just did time skip. Okay, he understood the reasons, but he was sure she had been previously attracted to him in a similar way as his other clients, but now she was as cold as ice, a true professional. Her piercings were so sexy that for once he was upset. He hadn't been allowed to hold and caress them in his hands, his mouth, and his cock. He shook his head, gunned his engine. His engine? And shot back to the depot without another thought, happy he now only had to attend once every 2 weeks. That evening was Jerry Forsyth's charity bash, and Bill had agreed to meet at her home and get changed into his evening dress suit at her place. Of course, I thought it was going to say an evening dress, and I was like, okay, Bill's a drag queen. Of course, Jerry wasn't going to miss an opportunity to have a dalliance with Bill. Charity bash or no charity bash. And 30 minutes were lost to her fucking Bill on the garden seat. This time sharing just 1 bottle of champagne. You need to listen to this shit, Maddie.
I am listening.
Call it a test run, Bill, she screamed. Call it a test run, Bill! She screamed as he hit her ovaries. For the 3rd time.
For the 3rd time! It's not the second time.
Just utter nonsense. Gibberish is what we're admitting right now.
No. What I said was, it's not the first tower, it's not the second tower, it's the 3rd tower.
He hit the ovary tower.
God,
Where the fuck am I?
I'm like,
It was so funny you couldn't get it out. You're like, me win.
Well, no, I was like, because I didn't want to say it.
But even she was professional enough to get on with the job in 1 hour.
She was professional. Sorry. Oh.
I just beat her.
Oh my god.
And 1 hour before the function started, she was at the venue checking all the last minute details, glass in hand. Bill, meanwhile, was checking out the champagne, making sure it would be served at precisely the correct temperature. What a pretentious bastard. Harold and Carmen Maria turned up 15 minutes early and were very pleased when Bill introduced them to Miss Forsyth, mentioning how important a customer she was. As Harold chatted about a business opportunity to Bill, the 2 girls seemed to hit it off perfectly. The bash started on time, and after the speeches and auction of some high-end jewelry and watches, the food was served. Carmen and Maria had maneuvered... It's maneuvered, but it's spelled wrong. Maneuvered herself next to the host, and when Jerry excused herself to visit the powder room, she opened the small piece of folded paper which contained the powder from deepest Brazil. Is she about to do coke? Looking cautiously... the way you looked, like, oh shit, cocaine. Looking cautiously around, she checked no one was looking at her and carefully sprinkled it. Oh, fuck, she's drugging Miss Forsyth. This is the Carmen Maria. She's drugging Miss Forsyth. Looking cautiously around, she checked no one was looking at her and carefully sprinkled the powder onto Miss Forsyth's fish and waited until she returned, picking up the conversation once again. For a second, when I first read that in my mind, I thought she was sprinkling it on like a goldfish, and I was like, what the fuck is she doing that for? And I'm like, oh wait, she's gonna eat fish. What a wonderful occasion you have organized here, Miss Forsyth. I myself am thinking of a little party for one of my charities. Nothing as grand as this, of course, an all-girls affair only, I'm afraid. Would you be interested in attending? Jerry exclaimed. Why, of course, Carmen, I'd love to. Anything to get out of the house is always welcome. Well, it's next Thursday evening at my friend's house. I'll send you the address through BL. He is such a nice young man, so considerate and helpful. Especially when he delivers my essentials, Jerry laughed and thought longingly of her good night fuck with Bill. It was well past midnight when Jerry opened her front door and beckoned Bill inside for a quick business-like resume on how well the champagne had been received. As it was a wonderfully warm evening, she led him out onto her terrace where they briefly watched the stars sparkling in the night sky. Jerry slowly undressed in front of him and felt her nipples pulsating and engorging in the evening air. She touched her clit and it exploded in a massive organism. Not orgasm, organism. She touched her clit and exploded in a massive organism. So much so, she fell onto Bill, who quickly caught her. Perhaps a bit too much of that wonderful champagne, Bill. Would you tuck me safely up in bed, please? Bill obliged her and was soon on his way back to the depot, as the taxis in London were starting to free up from the evening's frenzy. Meanwhile, Jerry Forsyth had gotten out of bed and removed her negligee. She suddenly felt so free from all the formality of the world. She was certain her nipples were getting bigger. Why is everyone's nipples just blowing up like balloons? I don't understand. It's like a nipple virus. Plot for book 3. Jerry decided there and then that she would revert back to nature and discard her society conformist bras and thongs. She would dress... What the fuck? Okay. So when she poisons people, they suddenly want to take all their clothes off. Like, this is what Veronica did.
What the fuck is she poisoning them with?
Some type of powder from Brazil. They, like, get the urge to take off all their clothes. So, first it was Veronica, now it's Jerry. Jerry decided there and then that she would revert back to nature and discard her society conformist bras and thongs. She would dress in see-through, loose-fitting clothing and use her female shape and attributes to their fullest extent in her newly enriched life. In other words, she would become an upmarket tart. Like a Pop-Tart. Something she had wanted to do all her adult life and somehow now felt empowered to do. After all, she was the boss. And that is the end of the chapter. Nothing happened. That was very fucking boring. What did you think of that boring chapter, Madison?
It's already over?
Yes.
It
was boring as hell.
The last one was worse, but not in the same way.
Yeah, no. Okay, guys, we're going to go. Bye.